Hello WinCraps fans. Today I'd like to discuss a method I saw played over on Casino Gaming TV. It's called the Stern method. Let me describe what it is and show you how I made it into an auto-bet script. Basically it's meant for even money bets such as the pass line or don't pass. However, John at Casino Gaming TV demoed it using the field. It's in 15 levels. And what you do is anytime you start out at level 1 and anytime you lose, you go up a level. If you should win and you're at level 1, you start over at the beginning. You basically just stay at level 1. If you should win at a higher level, then what you're going to do is parlay. And if you win the parlay, then you're going to start over at the beginning. If you lose the parlay, you will go up a level once again as before. So let me show you what I did to facilitate these levels. Basically, we're saying if initializing the script, first of all, we don't want to take odds. And then we're going to set the levels onto some check stacks. For instance, check stack 1 is going to be $25. That's level 1. Check stack 2 is going to be level 2, another $25, etc., etc. You can see up here in the highest level is $825, and that's level 15. Now we have to have something to refer to which level that we're actually on. These are just saying what the levels are, but we need to know what step are we actually on. And we're going to use that as check stack number 0. So I have a next statement here saying if you're beginning a new session, we're going to set a beginning bankroll, and you can choose whatever bankroll you want here. What I've done is said, well, I want to have enough bankroll to cover all 15 levels. So I just said take the sum of check stack 1 through check stack 15. That's going to be my beginning bankroll. I think it ends up being 3,250. Now here's our pointer that shows what our current level is going to be. Check stack 0, I'm calling it level, and starting out on level 1. Now, as we begin to play, if the pass line should win, I have another variable in here of calling it check stack 99 parlay. And it's going to be set to true or false depending upon whether I'm doing a parlay or not. So let's say it's on our first win. We come in here, the pass line wins. It says, is check stack 99 parlay equal to true? Well, no, it's not. It's false. So it drops down here to the else if. It says if the level is greater than level 1, then we're going to parlay. If it's not, if we're right on level 1, it just stays there, it drops down through, and then you just stay at level 1, you continue. But let's say we're on level 2. It comes through here now, and that sets this variable, check stack 99, to equal to true. So it stays on the level we're at, but it says that the parlay is in effect. And then the next time we come through, if it wins again, now when we get to this statement, if check stack 99 parlay is equal to true, it would be because we just set it. Then it would come through as, we would know that we won the parlay. So then it was going to say, start over on level 1, reset the parlay indicator, and start over. So there we go. Now, if we should lose, then we just add 1 to our level. If there maybe a parlay had been in effect, we're going to set it back to false because it's lost, and we got to just press on. And then we just do a little test here. It said, hey, if the level here after adding 1 gets us above level 15, then we know we've gone too far and we got to start over. So we're going to set it back to level 1, and then we're going to come down. We've got a statement here that says we're going to run multiple sessions, and we're going to decide when to reset these sessions. So we're going to say if the bankroll is less than the check stack that's the level that's being called for. So let's say we're on just level 1. So it's going to say check stack 1. So if the bankroll is less than that, it means there's not enough to make our basic bet. Or if the bankroll is greater than or equal to the beginning bankroll plus $200. So if we make $200, then we'll also reset. Now in this case, we want to start a new session and we want to preserve the check stacks. Now I've used the abbreviation here, CSS, check stacks, because we've got our levels set on those check stacks and we don't want them to be zeroed out. Now the final thing to do is say, okay, if we're on a coming out roll, we want to make our bet. What are we going to do? We're going to bet check stack defined by the level. So if CS0 level is 1, then it would be check stack 1, bet check stack 1 on pass line. If check stack 0 level were 4, we're on level 4, that means we would bet check stack 4 on pass line. Then it says if we're on a parlay, if the CS99 parlay is true. And I could have said equals true, but here's a little thing in WinCraps. If you don't put equals or false, then it just takes the value of what it is and creates a logical statement out of it. Is what you wrote here true or false? If checkstack 99 parlay is true, then it will execute what's in here. So since we're on a parlay, then you would add the last amount that the pass line won, and you would add that to the pass line. Now, what you could have said here, there's many ways to do these things. I wrote in green here just as a comment. You could also say bet check stack defined by the level, so check stack whatever, say 4, times 2 on the pass line. Now the way I wrote it here kind of accounts for a situation like where you're using the field. Let's say on the field, if you rolled a 9, then you could say the level times 2. That would be fine. That would be a parlay. But if say you rolled a 12, it's paying triple, and you want to parlay the full amount, then that would be more than check stack level times 2. So in that case, you would want to say, I mean, if you really wanted to get too detailed, you could break down as to what rolled, and you could say bet the check level times 3 and all that. It's easier just to say bet whatever the pass line won last time, or in this case, you could say the field, whatever the field won last time, add that to the field. So I hope that made sense. Anyway, that's the basic system. We've got it activated here, and we can come over here and we could play it if we wanted. So we're starting out with $25. Let's say we were going to lose the first bet. Now it's going to go to the second level, but the second level is actually the same amount, 25. So what I've done here is I've set the very first check stack on our rail to check stack 0. So this is showing a value of 2. That means we're on level 2. Now, just a side note here in case you don't know how to do this. If you were to go to the check stack screen, up here on the options, it says set visible check stacks. So I've come in here and set check stack, the first check stack that's being displayed, I want that as check stack 0. And you just say accept. And now when you go back to the screen, it shows check stack 0 over here. So let's say we were to lose again. Now you can see we're up on level 3. We're still at $25. Let's say we lose one more time. Goes to level 4. Level 4 is $35. So that should be right in line with our script here. So we had 25, 25, 25, 35. The next level, 5, should go to $45. Let's try that. Now we're at level 5, and we've got $45. Now let's say we're going to win. If we're going to win at $45 and we're not on level 1, we should see this go parlay to $90. So let's roll an 11. And there's our $90. And if we wanted to, we could look at the check stack 99 that I use. And right now it shows a value of -1, which in logic terms is a true value. A 0 would be a false, and actually WinCraps will interpret anything other than 0 to be a true. So that looks like it's working good, and we could go to our bankroll screen and we could watch this played out. Slow it down here just a little bit. So we got some fairly wild swings there. And it actually looks like it's resetting fairly often. So that hit probably 100 rolls there. It's going pretty quick. So you can see I stopped it right here. So if we started out around $3,200, already we're up to $3,375. So one more hit here would be a win, and it would start the system over. Let's see what happens. Yep, it hit the win. Okay, so you can watch that. And because we do have our loss limit and win goals set in the AutoBet script, we could speed this up. We could run some sessions. It will run multiple sessions for us. And then we can go take a look at the sessions log. Right there in those few moments, we ran 360 sessions. We can see that our average session was 102 rolls long. But rather than go through the rest of the data, let me just pull up here. I ran 10,000 sessions earlier, so we can take a look at them. Let's see, Stern 3, I believe I called it. Okay, so here we have a little over 10,000 sessions. We can see that almost 93% of our sessions were winning sessions. That's pretty darn good. And you can see here I've got number of rolls selected. So the average session was 101.9 rolls, and here's kind of shows how that plays out. The longest session had 1,664 rolls. The shortest session had 12 rolls. If we now look at the amounts won and lost, interesting graph here. You can see that I have to go back to that. Skipped off. Okay, the average session lost $30.49. You can see down here, here's the losing sessions. And obviously, like we said, we have 93% of them were winning and only 7%. So here's our little 7% sitting down here, this very small scattering. However, don't be deceived. If I enter in 0, for instance, here, that will bring this reference point right over here to 0. So if here's the 0 point, and here's all the winning sessions, you can see how close they are to the 0, the origin. And look at down here, the losses are so much further away. In other words, yeah, you have a 93% chance of winning, but you only have a 93% chance of winning roughly $200. Whereas you have a 7% chance of being wiped out, losing $3,250. And unfortunately, you total those two together, you come out with a minus $30.49. However, here's the good thing about this. Because it utilizes the pass line, the percentage loss is really fairly good. Minus 1.3 is where we're at right now. You know the pass line has minus 1.41 expectation. So for these 10,000 sessions, we fared a little bit better. Now, I've played this a time or two, having it take odds, and it really makes a wild session out of it. And I don't think it really plays into the way these levels are meant to go. So you'll have to experiment with that if that's what you're interested in doing. So let's see if there's anything else I can tell you about this one. We've got the levels. If you want to add on more levels, no problem. You would just come in here, say what's my next level, say check stack 16. I want to go to, let's say $1,000. I would just enter that. And then I would come down here and say, if I had a set bankroll, no problem, I would set that. In this case, I'm summing up the bankroll, so I'd want to add in check stack 16. And then I come down to this point right here where it loses. We're trying to detect if we've exceeded our levels, so you would want to set a 16 here as well. And that should do it. Win goal, loss limit, obviously you can play with that. Change the win goal to something higher or lower. You set the loss limit to something else. Maybe you want them to lose half your bankroll. That would be an interesting thing to check out. So hope that all made sense. Good luck in all your scripting, and thanks for watching. Bye.